let us participate actively and learn. I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the website Global Math Institute. Let me thank all the viewers and subscribers for watching my videos and taking keen interest. I'm especially thankful to those who are contributing in providing us with some brilliant questions. Now here is a question from our subscriber posted just few hours back. We'll try to solve this using different methods, and I hope its solution will help all range of our viewers. So the question here is, a rectangle has perimeter 60 yards and its area is 209 square yards. Find the dimensions of this rectangle. For purpose of this problem only, the width is shorter than the length. So we could actually approach solution in many different ways. You'll be surprised about it, right? Well, one of the best methods is trial and error. We really do not give much importance to this error. However, it is a very important method, especially if you are answering multiple choice questions or if you are in a competitive exam. Trial and error might give you the fastest answer. Table of values, that is another option which is used by many students in middle school. In that case, they can just make a table to find appropriate combination of perimeter and area. Then we have algebraic solution, where this question might involve quadratic equation. So grade 9 and 10 students will use this particular method, which is algebraic solution. Now higher grade students can also look into it and they can visualize graphically. So graphical methods are to sketch the graph of the two functions involved, and then their point of intersection will be the solution. So in that way, we see how middle school to high school students can enjoy the solution of this particular question. I'm going to consider at length the complete solution. Now, since trial, error and table of values is, I said, very fast, so I will take that later, only to verify that we could have solved this question in less than a minute, right? In less than a minute. Perfect. Anyway, let's try to understand what is given to us, right? So, it is given that perimeter is equal to 60 yards, right? So let me say P for perimeter, and I'm not writing units, I'm just writing the number 60 yards. So when I say perimeter is 60 yards, it really means what? It means length plus width times 2. So because there are two sides which are equal in length and also in width, right? So perimeter is 60. So that is given to us, and another thing which is given to us is the area, and area is equal to 209. A difficult number to work with, which might make it difficult and at the same time make it simple. We will see how. Okay, so when we are given perimeter and area, can you form equations relating with length and width? So you know what we are getting into, right? So we are first getting into algebraic solution. That is our intuitive approach. We always want to write equations and solve them to find solutions, ignoring the other methods, right? So that is what I'm also going to do. And let me thank once again our subscriber for posting this question. Now, it's a great opportunity for you. You can always learn from me by sending an email on this particular address. You can also post questions like this, and I will be very glad to answer them at the earliest. Many of my students are doing extremely well. So if you learn from me, you get great concepts. Here is Akshat, who's been top of the class and getting awards.
After attending university. The winner of this year's Certificate of Achievement Schulich Leader Award is Akshi Kandivani.
Great. Our student, Akshat, gets highest marks and the most prestigious Shulik Leader Award. You can be there. Join our classes and excel. Okay, so let's begin with the solution of this particular question. We say that perimeter is 60. It really means what? Let's break it down, right? So when I say perimeter is 60, then let's get back to the solution now. So what I've done here is typed out the question. We know that the length, let the variable be L for length and W for width. Area given to us as 209 square units of yards, and perimeter is given to us as 60. So when I say perimeter equals to 60, it really means twice length plus twice width, right? Dividing by 2, we can simplify this and write this as 30 equals to length plus width. Perfect. Now when 30 is length plus width, we can actually isolate one of the variables and we can say, well, 30 minus length is equal to width, right? So we get one variable in terms of the other. We'll make it as our equation number 1. Clear? Perfect. Let's continue. And now look into the area equation, right? So how about the area? Area is given to us as 209. Perfect. Now what is area equals to? Area is length times width. So length times width is 209. We can replace width from equation 1 as 30 minus L. So we get L times 30 minus L as equal to 209. Now you can open this particular bracket and you get a quadratic equation, which is 30L minus L square equals to 209, correct? So I bring all the terms to one side so that we can easily solve this question, right? So we get what? So I'll like to keep this as positive. So I'll make it 0 equals to taking L square on the right hand side, L square minus 30L, right? Plus 209. So we get our quadratic equation. Now we need to factor this particular quadratic equation, or we can use a quadratic formula, correct? So there are two solutions, two different ways to solve it. Well, you know quadratic equations, quadratic formula. Let us say if the equation is y equals to ax square plus bx plus c. In that case, we know the solution is x equals to minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac, correct? Divided by 2a. And therefore, I could provide the solution of this question using the quadratic formula, which is x, in this case, the unknown, is the length, right? So, length equals to what? Length minus of minus 30 will make it 30 plus minus b square, which is 30 square, right? Minus 4 times a times c, which is 209, right? 1 times 209, correct. Square root divided by 2. That is what you need to calculate. Use your calculator, do this particular calculation. Perfect. What do you get? So let me take this on a new page. So basically, we came up with that the length is equal to 30 plus minus square root of 30 square, which is 900, right? Minus, we had the term 4ac. So 4 times 209, which is 836, divided by 2, right? And then we have 30 plus minus square root of, and that is 64, right? Divided by 2, and this is equal to 30 plus minus 8, which is square root of 64, correct? So that gives you two solutions, right? So one will be length, the other one is going to be width. Perfect. So let's write down our solutions. So we have length equals to the bigger number, which is 30 plus 8 divided by 2, right? And that is 38 by 2 or 19. So that is what we get. The other one will be smaller. And since the question says smaller its width, we can say what width is, right? So width is, as you know, 30 minus 19, right? Because the sum was 30, correct? And that gives you what? 30 minus 19 is 11. So we get our answer, and that is our solution, which is length is 19 yards and width is 11 yards. Makes sense? You can verify the solution perimeter will be, add them, multiply by 2 to get 60. And when you multiply 19 and 11, what do you get? Multiplying 19 and 11 is indeed 209, right? So we do get 209. Perfect. Now, let's get back to the trial and error method, right? Which I skipped earlier. So see, the important thing was that we are given that perimeter is 60, right? So that gives you that the combination of length plus width has to be half of this. That is 30, right? And then we are given that the area is 209. Now, area is product of length and width, right? You have to multiply length and width to get 209. 209 is a very interesting number, right? If you add 2 and 11, 2 and 9, what do you get? Well, 2 plus 9 is indeed 11. And so we know that 11 can divide into 209, correct? And therefore, for 209, the only combination is that length and width could only be 11. And when you divide 11 into 209, you get 19. So straight away, we get our solution. You get the idea, right? So you can try this out. 19 times 11, for example, will be 19 plus 19, right? Which indeed is 209, correct? So, and when you add 19 and 11, what do you get? Well, as we checked earlier, we get 30, which is length plus width, correct? Half of the perimeter. So if you would have done the trial and error method, in that case, immediately, you would have got the solution. Now, since 209 is a very interesting number and there are no other values to look into, even if you make a table of values, right, considering what could be the length and what could be the width for, let's say, area of 209, you only get one solution, and that is 19 times 11, right? So that becomes your solution. And now do you see that we got this solution after doing all this math, right? Perfect. Now here is something very interesting, and that is to look at the graph. Now some of our senior students will be looking at this problem from a different angle altogether. See, when we have equations, we just visualize that perimeter is equal to 60, which is 2 times length plus width. And from here, we figured out that length plus width is equal to 30, or length is equal to minus W plus 30, correct? So that was one equation. The other equation which we worked was the area, which is length times width. And we know that area, length times width, is actually equals to 209. And therefore, we can say length is 209 over width W, correct? Now, if I sketch a graph over here for different values of length as values of width, right? In that case, for the first perimeter, which is, let me now shade this, perimeter equation length minus W plus 3. So what do we get? Plus 30, right? Sorry, not 3, 30, right? So what do we get? We get this dropping line, correct? Which goes from 30 to 30, right? So that is 30 and this is also 30, correct? Makes sense, right? On the other hand, if I look into the second part of it, which is basically looking into area, right? So the area graph is right there, right? Do you see this graph coming? And the point of intersection right there indicates the solution. As you can see, possible values we get here as 11 and 19, right? Now, since the larger one is the length, we'll consider that to be the combination, which will be length, right? You get the idea. So from the graph, we could actually sketch as you see, and you get the solution as mentioned. So it's a very interesting question. Once again, let me thank our viewers and subscribers for posting such questions, giving me an opportunity of looking at it from different angles, right? So the students who are in grade 9 and 10 will prefer algebraic method. However, if this is a competitive test question, then you know the number 209 is very interesting and it is equal to 11 times 19. And that gives you a hint that the answer should be 19 is the length and 11 is the width. Perfect? I hope it makes sense. So that's where we are. And this graph is very interesting also. Well, in case you want to learn from me, you can always send an email on the address given. Feel free to write your comments and suggestions. Thanks for your time and all the best.